What's up, people? Welcome back to the BCMA podcast. That's the Black Clover Martial Arts podcast. This is episode number 43. It's your boy Lucky from Lucky's Muay Thai. In this episode, we are going to talk very briefly about Conor and Dustin, the fight, the break, the aftermath, and my take. Primarily because I'm going on vacation. It's only a 2-day, but look, I'm getting out of here, and I haven't done that in like 3 years, so I'm ready to go. I hope everybody else is doing the same, getting a chance to get away, get their mind right, because the pandemic's been crazy. I also want to quickly shout out to the people of Cuba for taking it upon themselves to demand the thing that already should belong to them. I can go on for so long about this and how Cuba relates to the African-American community and civil rights movement, all these other things. But for now, I'm going to leave it at, I keep hearing these things about people saying they should give them their rights. They want somebody to give something to them. Yeah, the truth of the matter is their rights are their rights. Nobody should have to give them anything. They belong to them already. What they need is support in order to enjoy those rights that we all sometimes take for granted. And, you know, it's really unfortunate that we even have to consider that other governments, including our own, might be in it, you know, to not actually help people, but just to make sure that they can have a piece of the pie. A pie that belongs to other people that they haven't even gotten a taste of yet. So, in my opinion, the Cuban people need to already have their rights. The embargoes, trade embargoes, all these other things that might have had use in the past are obsolete. The world is clearly changing. Obviously, we've seen unrest in South Africa. We've seen unrest in Haiti. Now, obviously, in Cuba, Venezuela. We can go around the world, and obviously in the U.S. The world is definitely changing. Opportunity is for it to change for the better. So, hopefully, everybody that has a chance, a voice, a platform, whatever the case may be, will use that time, that place to say, you know, enough's enough. We deserve what we already should have. And sending love to all those people in Cuba. And I hope that it all gets resolved in the best way possible for them. I love y'all. If you like the show, that was quick, right? If you like the show, please hit the subscribe button, keep the like, tell a friend. The gym is doing great. If you want to stop by the gym, hit us up, www.luckysmt.com. And we'll set you up for the free trial class and get you in there so you can see what we do. All right. Conor and Dustin. Look, I said this in the last episode. There was nothing in Conor's recent past that made me think that he was going to do anything with Dustin. Nothing. The trash talk was exactly that. It was trash. Dustin hit a couple of one-liners that basically were better than Conor's entire trash talk. I don't understand people's, how many, I guess it's true in everything, right? You can tell somebody something, it turns out to be false. And you see this over and over. People get screwed and over again for the same things. I will say this. I have heard so many times, Conor's in the best shape of his life. And other fighters too, not just Conor. Conor's in the best shape of his life. Conor's in the best shape of his life. Clearly this time, yeah, man, you can only take so much from what you see when you're looking at a person's body. So now that everybody says he's in the best shape of his life and he breaks his leg, was he in the best shape of his life? I don't know. Was there already, now I'm hearing, wait, just so we're clear, I'm hearing all kinds of excuses of reasons and things that happen, things in camp, check kicks. I've heard, and then I saw the video of the elbow block where he double arm blocked and hit him with the elbow across the ankle. All of these things can have contributing factors, but ultimately you still lost the fight. So it doesn't really matter necessarily when it happened, right? You can say whatever you want, but what we saw happened in the fight. Manny Pacquiao fought Floyd Mayweather after the fight was over. He had a shoulder injury, and this, that, and the other. Yo, the fact of the matter is the truth. You went in there, you signed the paper, you trained, you showed up, touched gloves or not, fought. You did well for a minute and 40 seconds, because I believe Dustin controlled for 3 minutes, 3:13 or something like that. If Dustin's controlling for 3:13, it's a 5-minute round, and you were good for you only did well for the first minute and 40 seconds. So, could he come back? Absolutely. We've seen breaks, obviously, Anderson Silva. We've seen other guys break their body parts and come back. But do you want to come back with $400 million, $300 million, whatever his net worth is, sitting in the bank? 2 kids, wife, everything you could ever want? Are you trying to come back and get smashed in the face? Do you really want Dustin Poirier on top of you again, throwing elbows down, pushing you while you're trying to grab his gloves so you can up kick out of an act of desperation, possibly? I don't know. I thought that, he went out looking good at first, throwing kicks and stuff, but he had to. It was to be expected if he wanted to do anything, obviously. Dustin clearly touched him up. Pop, 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 pop. Conor was like, I got to grab you. Let me try this guillotine. It all looked a little forced. It didn't look like he was old Conor, ready to I'm going to go out there and finish him in the first round, mark my words, Bubba, call me Mystic Mac, all that. It was before, that was really bad, but I wasn't trying to do it good. I could do it good. He just didn't look like that guy to me. Everything looked a little forced, and we all know the finish of it. So we'll see what happens after his full recovery. Now, the responses were across the board. I had to watch this for a few days to kind of see where everybody was, but it ranged from, you suck, it's over, to, he's still the best that ever was, he'll come back, to, and then the Deontay Wilder-like excuses. The only thing I was missing was him walking to the cage in some 50-pound freaking armor or something. I'm sure he would have used that if he could have. I don't like all of that. I don't mind you saying, hey man, I was, extremely worn out from training camp, or I had a bad knee, but it is what it is. The guy was better that day, but this is not what we're getting. We're getting, my leg was bad. We had it checked. The UFC knew about it. The UFC's doctors knew about it. It was stress fractures already, which is interesting because when John Kavanaugh first got interviewed, he didn't mention stress fractures. He mentioned there might have been something in camp. But what he mentioned was, possibly getting checked. I think other people too. So, I don't know what the issue is. All I know is when you're fighting and you're competing, especially at the upper levels, and people are paying $60, $70 for a pay-per-view, nobody gives a shite whether or not you had a sore ankle going into a fight. Because I remember you complaining about other people complaining or making excuses. Look, man, I'm not saying he needs to take the money and run, but I'd be out. Competing in jiu-jitsu tournaments, having a great old time, where I can tap if I wanted to, you know what I mean? I can go out there and really try to put some real competition together, put a hurting on some people, but, hug and dap it up after, hopefully. Because this stuff is starting to turn to a point where it's not looking fun anymore. You start talking about a person's wife, you start talking about their kids, you're talking about how you're a nasty person, and now we're talking about something else. When you start involving families and, all this other thing that you claim that you are, and all this sort of street talk, well, street talk gets people's asses whooped. Tough talk gets people's asses whooped. Tough demeanors get people's asses whooped. So when you start, fighting on the street clearly is not the same thing as fighting in the cage. I'm not saying that Conor couldn't hold his own, obviously. I'm just saying When you're fighting on the street, the rules are different. People don't care about kicking you in the groin. They don't care about biting your fucking nose off or any of that other stuff. So once you start saying, I'm going to do stuff to your wife and your kid and your blah, 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 you see that person in the street, it is not, there's no ref that's going to pull him off. None of that stuff. So all that being said, my take is this. Dustin Poirier is the superior fighter. Charles Oliveira and Dustin Poirier is going to be a fantastic fight, far superior than the 2 fights we saw with Conor McGregor. I wish Conor nothing but the best. I wish I could have had $300-400 million to walk away with, raise my kids, travel the planet, all that stuff. But, if he wants to come back and get beat up, I suppose. I mean, they can put him in there with lower level guys, but who wants to pay for him? I guess people will pay for just to watch him beat people up, but I don't know. Where's the honor in that, as they say? Anyway, I'm going on vacation. I'm not telling you where I'm going. I'm not telling you I'm coming back, but I'll be back soon. If you like the show, keep the like, hit the subscribe button, tell a friend, and if you want to stop by the gym, you know what it is, www.luckysmt.com, and I'll be there at some point. Drop us a line so you can come by and see me. Peace.